Under house arrest since 2003, Vietnam Nobel Prize nominee dies at 93. Thich Quang Do, a dissident Buddhist monk who has effectively been under house arrest since 2003 and was nominated multiple times for the Nobel Peace Prize, has died aged 93. Head of the banned Unified Buddhist Church of Vietnam, UBCV, the vocal patriarch was born in 1928 in Thai Binh province and spent most of his life advocating for religious freedom and human rights in communist-run Vietnam. His staunch activism landed him under what was effectively house arrest in Ho Chi Minh City in 2003, where he was under constant surveillance. Do died on Saturday night at Tu Hieu pagoda, UBCV announced on Sunday morning. According to his will signed in April 2019, Do requested a simple funeral, not more than 3 days. After the cremation, my ashes will be scattered at sea, said the statement quoting his will. The UBCV also requested for followers not to bring money, as is customary for Vietnamese funerals. There will be no final words, no biographies, no emotional showings, just praying. Do has long been a thorn on the side for communist-run Vietnam, and he has been nominated multiple times for the Nobel Peace Prize for his vocal advocacy for democracy. In 2001, he wrote an appeal for democracy, and also called on northern and southern dissidents to drop their cultural differences and unite in 2005. He received Norway's Rafto Human Rights Award the following year for his personal courage and perseverance through 3 decades of peaceful opposition against the communist regime in Vietnam. The UBCV has been banned since the early 1980s when it refused to join the state-sanctioned Vietnam Buddhist Church. Vietnam has long had an uneasy relationship with organized religion. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, OCIF, recommended to the State Department that Vietnam be designated as a country of particular concern, citing systematic, ongoing, egregious violations of religious freedom. Delhi violence. Capital remains on edge as 5 die in fresh clashes during Trump visit. Several areas of Delhi's northeast district witnessed fresh clashes over the Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA, resulting in the death of 5 people including 1 policeman. The situation de-escalated late evening but not before at least 50 other people were injured. The violent clashes have coincided with US President Donald Trump's maiden visit to New Delhi, where he will spend most of Wednesday. Security forces are believed to be on guard to prevent any such clashes in the national capital. A literal battlefield. Visuals from the violence-affected areas in Delhi resembled mini battlefields as clashes between pro- and anti-CAA protesters turned ugly. Many vehicles, shops and houses were burnt down during the clashes. In fact, a petrol pump was also torched by agitators in Bhajnapura area. Stones, pieces of bricks and glass shards lay strewn on road and plumes of smoke billowed from houses, shops and vehicles which were torched by mobs in northeast Delhi. In a widely circulated video, a protester brandishing a gun walked up to a Delhi police personnel. He then walked away and fired a few rounds in the air. Sources said the man in the video had been identified and appropriate action would be taken against him. While initial clashes started Sunday afternoon, the situation escalated further on Monday as protesters not only engaged in arson but also stone pelting. Police tried to control the situation by firing tear gas shells at protesters but ultimately resorted to lathi charge as clashes worsened over CAA in Jaffrabad, Mojpur, Chandbagh, Kuriji Khas and Bhajnapura. Security personnel conducted flag marches and prohibitory orders were clamped to bring the situation under control. Section 144 has been imposed in 10 areas of Delhi's northeast district. 5 dead, several injured. As mentioned earlier, the clashes on Monday have led to the death of 5 people and several have been injured. 4 deaths were reported earlier on Monday, however, 1 more was reported late night. Ratan Lal, 42, a head constable attached to the office of the ACP Goklapuri, died after he sustained injuries during stone pelting at Goklapuri. 3 other civilians succumbed to injuries in the clashes, a Delhi government official said, adding 50 people with injuries had come to the hospital for treatment. At least 11 police personnel, including Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP, Shahdara, Amit Sharma and ACP, Goklapuri, Anuj Kumar were injured while trying to quell the protests. 2 CRPF police personnel were also injured, sources said. According to reports, 45 injured have been admitted TP in GTB Hospital in Dilshad Garden, 15 in Jagpravesh Chandra Hospital in Shahdra, while 6 injured policemen including DCP are undergoing treatment at Max Hospital. Violence orchestrated. In the aftermath of the violence, government sources alleged that violence in the national capital was orchestrated by some for publicity as it coincides with Trump's visit to Delhi. They said Delhi Police Commissioner Amulya Patnaik was stationed at the police control room and closely monitoring the situation. Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla told reporters the situation in the national capital was fully under control and sufficient forces were deployed on the ground. Officials said at least 8 companies, 100 personnel each, of Central Armed Police were present on the ground, besides the Delhi Police. Schools closed. All private and government schools in Northeast Delhi district will remain closed on Tuesday in the wake of the violence, Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia tweeted. The violence-affected areas witnessed several rounds of stone pelting from pro- and anti-CAA protesters. The roads were strewn with bricks, stones and glass shards. A petrol pump and 2 school buses were torched at Bhajnapura Yamuna Vihar border during the rampage by the protesters. Vehicular traffic remained restricted on road number 59, which leads to Bhajnapura on one side and Ghaziabad via Gokulpuri flyover on the other side, causing inconvenience to commuters and locals, including students. Caught in the crossfire. A youth wanting to pick up his elder sister from her office, a man from Aligarh hoping to join his family at a hospital, students going to take their board exams, and women hawkers waiting to return home were among the several people caught in the crossfire during clashes in Delhi on Monday. I don't know how are we going to go back home now, a woman hawker, standing along with a fellow hawker at C Block Yamuna Vihar bus stand, wondered as they waited for a DTC bus. A 20-year-old man carrying a helmet said he had to leave his motorcycle in Gokulpuri as he tried to make his way to Mustafabad but was stuck at barricades put by the police. My sister works there and she is calling me repeatedly, asking me to come and take her home in this situation. I am unable to find a way to reach her, the man, visibly worried, told PTI. A family from Aligarh district in Uttar Pradesh which had come to Rohini for a member's treatment was also left stranded. 5 of us, including 2 women, had come here in the morning. Rest 4 are still at the hospital in Rohini and I had come here for some work. Now I am waiting for the violence to end so that I can go pick them up and we all can return home, a man, who identified himself as Abhishek Thakur, said as he sat on a pavement with his hatchback parked near the Dayalpur police station. How it all started. Violence had occurred on Sunday also over the amended citizenship law near Jaffrabad over blocking of the road by anti-CAA protesters, while similar sit-ins were launched in several other parts of the national capital including House Rani. The situation had escalated after BJP leader Kapil Mishra called a gathering on Sunday. Mishra demanded that police remove the anti-CAA protesters within 3 days. Political reactions. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal urged the centre to restore law and order in the national capital. Lieutenant Governor Anil Bajal said he has instructed Delhi Police Commissioner Amulya Patnaik to ensure the situation is brought under control. Very distressing news regarding disturbance of peace and harmony in parts of Delhi coming in. I sincerely urge Honorable LG and Honorable Union Home Minister to restore law and order and ensure that peace and harmony is maintained. Nobody should be allowed to orchestrate flagrations, Kejriwal tweeted. In a tweet, Sisodia said all internal exams scheduled for Tuesday in schools in Northeast Delhi will not be held and he will speak to Union HRD Minister R.P. Nishank on the issue of postponing the board exam in this district. Taking to Twitter, Bajal said, instructed at Delhi Police and at CP Delhi to ensure that law and order are maintained in Northeast Delhi. The situation is being closely monitored. I urge everyone to exercise restraint for the maintenance of peace and harmony. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Monday condemned the violence in Delhi and urged people to show restraint, compassion, and understanding irrespective of the provocation. He said peaceful protests are a sign of a healthy democracy, but violence can never be justified. The violence today in Delhi is disturbing and must be unequivocally condemned. Peaceful protests are a sign of a healthy democracy, but violence can never be justified. I urge the citizens of Delhi to show restraint, compassion and understanding no matter what the provocation, Gandhi tweeted. BJP spokesperson Meenakshi Lekhi said the death of a Delhi police head constable was a ploy to embarrass India during Trump's visit and likened it to the massacre of 6 in Chatty, Singapore in 2000 during the then US President Bill Clinton's trip to the country. Shocked to hear the death of HCSH Rathanlal in a brutal and barbaric manner. This reminds me of the massacre of 6 in Chatty, Singapore during Clinton's visit. Incidents changed but anti-India forces remain the same. A ploy to embarrass India, request all to remain calm and maintain peace, she said in a tweet. The Delhi Metro has closed entry and exit at the Jaffrabad, Mojpur Babrapur, Shiv Vihar, Gokulpuri, Johri enclave stations as violence prevailed in the area. The entry and exit of Central Secretariat, Patel Chowk and Udyog Bhavan were shut for nearly an hour. Day after BJP's Kapil Mishra warning, how violence erupted across the divide. The 12 hours of violence in northeast Delhi on Monday in which 5 people were killed, including a head constable, painted a grim picture of how protests over the new citizenship law took a communal turn. The area had been on edge since Sunday when a rally by BJP's Kapil Mishra to counter anti-CAA protests in the area had been followed by waves of stone pelting. Mishra couldn't have been clearer in his warning. He released a video threatening anti-CAA protesters. He gathered with his supporters next to the protest venue. He tweeted after the violence that, till Trump is in India, we are leaving the area peacefully. After that, we won't listen to you, police. Despite this, when violence first erupted Monday, with young men from 2 communities gathering on either side of a wide road under the Babarpur-Mojpur metro line, Delhi police personnel found they were outnumbered. While there is little clarity on who cast the first stone, both communities blame each other. By 11 a.m., stones were flying thick and fast in Mojpur. Around noon, among those who were seen throwing stones were also some policemen. Asked about this, a senior Delhi police officer declined to comment. Several Muslim residents in the area alleged that since Sunday night, members of their community had been targeted. This is a mixed colony. We saw our own neighbors throwing stones at us. On Sunday night, men were being pulled out of autos and Hindu households were collecting stones, claimed a resident holding a metal rod, his face covered with a handkerchief. At the Mojpur temple on the other side, however, many women claimed they were chanting Hanuman Chalisa at 10 a.m. on Monday when Muslim men came and pelted stones. Many in this gathering were holding pro-CAA placards, next to a "Howdy Trump" banner placed on an electric pole. Said Rohit Kumal Shukla, 25, who was admitted to GTB hospital complaining of a bullet wound to the leg. I was near Mojpur Chowk, where people were reciting the Hanuman Chalisa, when the other side started pelting stones at us. Some of the men charged at us and one of them fired at me from a distance. While Mojpur market was shut, schools on the road were open, and around 1:30 p.m., students were escorted home by police personnel and locals. Around 2 p.m., several vehicles were set ablaze, and foam godowns, shops and homes were targeted by a crowd chanting Jai Shri Ram, which hurled petrol bombs at these establishments. Many of the men indulging in violence were wearing helmets. Until evening, there was widespread arson in the area and smoke billowed into the sky, but the Delhi Fire Service, DFS, had a trying time reaching the spot. There were calls but there was no way for us to get there as the situation was volatile, said DFS Director Atul Garg. Even though there were no people inside the shops and homes, the fear of a cylinder bursting or fire spreading was there. Around 3:45 p.m., police fired tear gas shells and pelted stones in Mojpur to disperse the crowd. Pushpender Mishra, member of Hindu Yuva Vahini, present near the temple, said, "We got sticks from our homes. Locals have sourced them too. On Sunday, we didn't have weapons to defend ourselves but now we are prepared." At 5:10 p.m., A mob of young men saw a garment shop and a pan shop across the street from the temple. Over 20 police personnel watched as young men, some teenagers, broke down banners, shutters, and looted the pan shop. The mob looted biscuit packets, water bottles and threw it to the crowd. The Indian Express spoke to the two owners, who said that they were too scared to go and assist the damage. Meanwhile, news came in that DCP, Shahdara, Amit Sharma had received serious head injuries at Chandbagh and had been rushed to GTB hospital. He underwent surgery at Max Patpaganj Monday night. Constable Pradeep Kumar, posted with Vivek Vihar police station, was present at Chandbagh when Sharma was allegedly beaten up by a group of anti-CAA protesters after he asked them to open the blocked road. We were standing in Chandbagh area since 9 am and situation got tense around 12:30 pm after the locals blocked the carriageways, Kumar said. Our DCP was standing with us, around 35 policemen, and he tried to convince them to open the carriageways. Around 12:50 pm, we were garrowed by them and then they started stone pelting. They also held him and started beating him up mercilessly. We tried to rescue him and also received injuries. After rescuing him, we took him in hospital. Blood was oozing from his head. By afternoon, police had imposed Section 144 in the area, though the crowds continued to pour into the streets and narrow bylanes. Delhi Police Pro Anil Mittal appealed to the people to keep calm and not believe rumors, and promised strict action against miscreants and antisocial elements. At 4:30 pm, a bearded man wearing a kurta pajama was surrounded in Bhajnapura and beaten by a mob armed with cricket stumps and sticks. A Reuters photographer captured scenes from the assault which left the man bloodied. Until late Monday night, he could not be traced. Late evening, there were announcements from the Mojpur temple microphone that, we have to prepare ourselves to save our community, our rights and self-respect. At 9:45 pm, stone pelting resumed in Mojpur, and another shop was set ablaze, with flames being doused by police personnel.